Palma. Oh,
Oh, man.
that's unfair, and Palma 7 points in the game. To Del Fuentes.
Oh, wow.
Delgado takes the shot and knocks it down. Maloria is open. 3-pointer. Oh my goodness!
Face a jumper by Robin Celis.
Caballero has tied.
Now it gets Martin Rosso. Turnaround jumper. Oh my goodness.
It's a grand homecoming for Pasig City. Sat out the last season and making their return after 2 years on their home floor, the Inares Sports Arena in Pasig City. As that sets the main game for this triple header, we have Andres Ramos, bago rest back para dito sa San Juan, and the two-time UAP Mythical 5 member making his first appearance dito sa MPBL. And kalaban niya on the other side, in his 6th season in the Marica Pilipinas Basketball League, Mark Montuano, this time donning the blue and white nitong Pasig City. This is our main game, the San Juan Knights taking on Pasig City. This is the Marica Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino. Ken Panglinan with Javi Palanya, and later we'll hear from Miss Sydney Crespo. Javi, Pasig City, nothing short of amazing yung kanilang run so far. Their fight has been pretty much evident in this run, pero kalaban nila at home itong San Juan Knights.
Yeah, I already mentioned it earlier during the first game, Ken, that they're actually in a very good spot right now considering how late they formed this team and the lack of talent that they've had compared to the other squads. This is definitely a very good run that Pasig City is experiencing right now, winning 4 of their last 5 games, including 3 straight.
And they have crept up in the North Division standings. Of course, you're watching us live on the official Facebook page and YouTube channel, and also live on Solar Sports. And kasama natin ito si Miss Sydney Crespo at courtside. And Sid, very important game in the North Division between San Juan and Pasig. Kamusta ang kalagayan nila heading into this matchup?
Hello, Ken and Javi. Ang ganda ng mga games natin ngayong araw, no? And I'm sure quality rin itong ating main game because our two teams are riding on a good energy and momentum, Ken. Dahil nga, kwento ni Coach Aldrin, no, na malaki yung ngiti nila sa loob ng Pasig dugout after quote-unquote mabingwit ang isang tough team. Of course, he's talking about Basilan. Sabi niya, kino-consider niya ito bilang isa sa mga plot twist nila this season. And hopefully, maulit daw nila yan ulit ngayong gabi. Hindi man magiging madili. They need to try with San Juan kahit nakikita na daw nila si Aldrich Ramos on the floor. Kaya para sa San Juan, you know that they are not taking this lightly. Maraming shooters ang Pasig and at least 5 players dito ang kilalang kilala daw nila Coach Alex at Coach RB dahil nahawakan nila sa Bacoor at Bacolod. Gentlemen?
Kabilang dyan si Jay Gars, Jerome Garcia for Pasig City. And ngayon, silipin natin ang ating team standings in the North Division. Earlier, we saw Nueva Ecija notch their 16th win, still undefeated. San Juan at number 3. Pasig City is at number 8 with a 7-6 record.
A win today could tie San Juan with Abra at 14-1. A loss will bring them down to 13-2, while Pasig City, if they win today, they go up to 8-6, much closer to the Pangasinan Heatwaves. Pero kung matalo sila, mas lalapit sila sa Ilagan Isabela Cowboys at that 9th position in the Northern Division.
Ngayon tignan natin yung last game nitong San Juan Knights. Kalaban nila itong Muntinlupa. This was a clash between the third-ranked teams in their respective divisions, but hindi mo mahalata yan with how San Juan pretty much dominated Muntinlupa in Benguet.
Yeah, they started strong and never looked back, dominating them from the very start. 20-12 after the first quarter, the lead grew to 36-20 at the half and 60-32 heading into the fourth quarter. They led by as much as 36 points in this one of their biggest wins of the season. Badly out-rebounded dito ang Muntinlupa Cagers. San Juan does a really good job of dominating the glass. 57 rebounds in this game, 17 on the offensive glass, which gave way to a lot of second chance opportunities para sa Knights sa laro na yun.
San Juan just holding a pretty much potent offensive team in Muntinlupa to only 43 points. But for San Juan, just another day in the office para dito kay Michael Kalisaan. And a subpar outing in the previous two but bounced back nicely here against Muntinlupa.
Well, important that Calisan gets back on track, especially moving into this part of the season where San Juan faces a much more difficult stretch of games here in Muntinlupa. 13 points, but may not be a lot, but of course for Mike Calisan playing on the San Juan team, this is definitely the numbers that Coach Alex Angeles wants to see coming from his prized forward.
And San Juan is pretty much in a tricky situation going up against Pasig City na alam naman natin they've been on a roll, winning 4 of their last 5 games. But this win against Basilan, where they had the lead, 18 points, the biggest in the third quarter, but they blew that one out, but their resilience showed in overtime, able to recover and get this win over the Star Horse.
It became close when Basilan came back into the game. This game featured 9 ties and 12 lead changes, but big plays from numerous players in OT, particularly Mark Montuano, Jerome Garcia, and Robbie Manalang. These guys really were at the forefront para sa Pasig City sa laro na yon. Relying again heavily on their 3-point shooting. 11 3-point shots para sa Pasig City in that game to vanquish one of the toughest teams in the Southern Division in the Basilan Star Horse.
And Mark Montuano, one of the names you've mentioned already, have flirted with a double-double in this game. The toughness, the veteran savvy that he showed, enabling itong Pasig to win this one over Basilan.
He's been very pivotal para kay Coach Aldrin Morante this year. May not be the tallest, but definitely one of the guys with the biggest heart inside the paint. 20 points in this one, almost a double-double as you mentioned. Importante na every game maganda ang lalaruin ni Mark Montuano because dito rin kumukuha ng lakas yung ibang Pasig City players.
So let's see if Mark Montuano could add on to that performance, especially going up against a loaded front line nitong San Juan. It's Pasig versus San Juan in our main game. Let's go to Miguel Pare for our starters.
Pasig City, live on Solar Sports. This is the 2025 Manny Pacquiao's MPBL Season 7. Here are the starting fives, beginning with the MPBL Season 2 champions, San Juan Knights. Starting at forward number 7, Ron Denison. Also at forward number 2, Mike Calisan. Guard number 1, Craniel Viloria. Also at guard number 13, Royce Alforque. Playing center number 9, Dexter Maiquez. The head coach for San Juan Knights is Alex Angeles. Assistant coaches Jonathan Banal, RB Mangahas, James Ogpin, Nat Gregorio, Paulo Gorospe, Jigs Guadamur, and PJ Maningan. Team managers Judas Man. Team owner Honorable Senator Jingoy Estrada. And now mga kaliga, get on your feet because it's time to meet the starting unit for your Pasig City. Starting at center number 14, Lester Tamayo. To guard number 1, Warlo Batak. Also at guard number 7, Robbie Manalang. Power forward number 10, Mark Montuano. And at small forward number 28, Chito Jaime. The head coach for your Pasig City is Aldrin Morante. Assistant coaches, J.R. Villanueva, Lance Inco, and Richard Rosales. Team owner, Mr. Buddy Encarnado. Reference for this ball game, crew chief.
The title sponsor of the MPBL, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. For San Juan, Royce Alforque, Craniel Viloria, Dexter Maiquez, Mike Calisaan, and Ron Denison. Sa panig naman ng Pasig City, Robbie Manalang, Warlo Batak, Lester Tamayo, Mark Montuano, and Chito Jaime are referees for this ball game. Sev Pingol, Mark Rancudo, Chester David. Fourth man is Karina Martin. The headlines for San Juan, obviously, is the acquisition of Aldrich Ramos. Actually, hindi naman acquisition, no? He was part of the lineup to begin the season. That's part of the process dito sa MPBL. And once the window, ngayon na nga, currently, Javi, Ito, pinasok na nila si Aldrich Ramos into their lineup.
O kasi hindi mo pwedeng palaruin si Aldrich from this free agent window that we have dahil technically hindi naman sa free agent because he hasn't played yet here in the league.
Dennison immediately burning a free. Open up the scoring dito sa ating laro between Pasig City and San Juan.
Dennison has been a constant starter for Coach Alex Angeles this season. In fact, they go with almost the same starting unit in this game, except that Cranian Villoria is stepping back into the starting unit para kay Arvin Gamboa. Pero tres rin ang binitawan sa kabila ng Pasig City to begin this game.
In this game has the makings of a shootout again. Especially with Pasig, they live and die by that three-pointer.
Yeah, their wins have been characterized by heavy reliance on the three-point shot.
Kalisaan slides in for the basket, 5-3 San Juan.
But what they want to try and avoid in this game, talking about Pasig City, is turning that ball over because San Juan, just like Nueva Ecija, is so good into converting those turnovers into points.
Robbie Manalang can't hit the free. Dennison onto the front court. Gives it up to Dexter Maiquez. Alforque. Kalisaan up top, back to Alforque. Bounce pass down low to Maiquez. Shot clock winding down, 6 seconds left. Up and under move from Dexter Maiquez.
Beautiful footwork right there coming from Maiquez. Patient on the block, did not force it. Tamayo switched out onto him after Montuano showed out hard on Alforque on the right side.
7-3 Montuano. No go on that three-point shot. Agawan ng bola sa ilalim. Tamayo lost it. Nasa San Juan na ang bola, but that pass by Alforque too strong para kay Ron Dennison.
If you're Lester Tamayo, you have to realize that as a big man, you cannot put the ball down right there when you have small guards creeping up behind you.
Fast break of the game is brought to you by Extreme X Pop, personal karaoke speaker. Everyday karaoke.
And there, that's off an error by Pasig City. And most of the time, yan ang mangyayari.
Big lineup again for Pasig City. Steal almost. Jaime recovers. Batak attacks the paint and scores with a floater.
Gutsy play right there coming from the young man Warlo Batak, throwing that contact and engaging Dexter Maiquez on the baseline.
Dennison. This time a miss from beyond the arc. And you know, the growth of Warlo Batak surely will be a barometer of how Pasig will fare in this season. As Chito Jaime with 5 early points.
You talk about Warlo Batak, how he has been growing right before our eyes, pero hindi na ito bago. Yung makikita natin na pumupuntos pa rin si Chito Jaime para sa Pasig City.
7-all is the score. Montuano battling with Maiquez and will be called for that foul. This was Chito Jaime operating down low, using his size over Ron Dennison. Titignan mo yung front line nitong Pasig City. Jaime, Montuano, Reyes, all could play the 4 or the 5. Tapos si Batak nakaslide in at that 2-guard spot.
They definitely have the length. The problem is they don't have a lot of depth.
LGR, the official outfitter of the MPBL.
Now, I'd love to see Josan Nimes get back into shape. I'm sure that's going to be sooner than expected. He was brought in here almost a month ago. Pero di pa rin masyadong ginagamit ni Coach Aldrin, waiting for him to get back into good physical condition first before he tries him out for long periods of time.
Jaime at the post, facing up on Ron Dennison. Chito Jaime, 7 of the 9 points for Pasig City.
Wanting to bounce back from that 5-point game that he had against Basilan. Only played 18 minutes in that game, but those 5 points were key for Pasig City in overtime.
Oh yeah, and he also hit a big 3 in overtime to help Pasig City win that one over Basilan. And he got in when Lester Reyes fouled out of that game.
Correct.
Jaime, hook shot, no. Denison able to box him out. Oh, but it will stay with Pasig City.
And that performance by Chito in that game is absolutely just a mark of him being a consummate professional. You know, he may be underutilized in his opinion, but when his number is called, he will always be ready despite not shooting a lot in that game.
Manalang will trigger it in. Mark Montuano, catch and shoot. Rebound, Arvin Gamboa. Kakapasok lang para dito sa San Juan. Alforque flips it up and in.
That's my worry on those kind of quick triggers by Mark Montuano. Are you really willing to engage San Juan in a race? Because these guys can definitely run, especially after misses and turnovers.
Entry pass inside. Pasig coming up empty on that trip. Kalisan off the window.
Again, if you're Pasig, you have to ask yourselves, do you have that wherewithal to actually keep in step with San Juan when they look to push that basketball?
Montuano gets it to Chito Jaime. Gamboa in his grill. Bounce pass. Montuano puts it on the deck. Lost it. Turnover. San Juan off to the races. Maiquez is gone on the other side. San Juan with a 6-0 run, forcing the hand of Coach Aldrin Morante.
That's now 4 turnovers in the game. Sorry, 5 para sa Pasig City. Royce Alforque picking it up. And this is what you love also about San Juan. Their big men actually do run the floor. Kalisaan, Dexter Maiquez, talagang maasahan mo sila in plays like that.
4 minutes and 39 seconds left. San Juan with a 5-point lead, 14-9. Ronald Tumid with Boss Sedef Tupas.
Interesting sighting. Oh.
Dexter Maiquez against Muntinlupa. Just another day in the office. 12 points in 15 minutes to go along with those 7 boards.
A very efficient showing para sa kanya. Again, joining forces with his front court partner in Michael Calisan to combine for 25 points para sa San Juan sa laro na yon against Muntinlupa.
Special deal from 1xBet. Scan the QR code and claim your special offer. Kabiruan nga natin, no? Medyo mas mapapadali daw yung trabaho niya this time. Dahil sa bago nilang recruit.
Yeah, we already saw Aldrich Ramos here today. Pero kadugtong dun nung sinabi niya mapapadali yung trabaho niya. Sabi niya, marami pa raw dadating.
Ayun, yun ang dapat abangan para dito sa San Juan. Always with those low-key moves. Another turnover by the best team in terms of taking care of the ball. Only 11.5 turnovers a game, but already 6 in the first quarter.
Chito was vehemently demanding for a challenge. But Coach Aldrin Morante did not oblige.
Alforque over Manalang. 1 and done by San Juan. Keith Pido now in. Manalang playing the 2 spot. Pido now at the point guard spot for Pasig City. Backing down Royce Alforque. Fades away. Short. Tapikan ng bola. Napunta kay Nico Panganiban. Maiquez. Straight away free. Nothing but nylon.
That spot on the top of the circle is the favorite spot of Dexter Maiquez when shooting threes. Has a really high percentage from that area of the floor.
9 unanswered points by San Juan. Pasig down by 8. Lester Reyes called for the offensive foul.
Offensive foul on
As Panganiban fought on that ball screen. Senator Jinggoy Estrada having some words with our table officials. This 3-point shot brought to you by Extreme, your one-stop shop appliances. So I think they're sorting things out kung pwede palaruin si Aldrich in this game. Because yung initial lineup kasi was a different player. But I think things have settled down. And right on cue, Aldrich Ramos is now coming off the bench. Now standing up, trooping to the side of the table officials. Nico Panganiban though, joining the 3-point party para dito sa San Juan Knights.
The shots just falling right now para sa Knights. When they are able to generate a string of stops, talagang nabubuhayan yung opensa nila. It becomes so much easier for them to put points on the board.
It's a 12-0 run for San Juan right now. 2:30 left here in the first period. Alforque kicks it out. Gamboa, jab step, 3-point shot. Rolls out, Jaime the rebound. Pido will push it. Will pull it back out, Robbie Manalang against Royce Alforque. Back to Pido, inside, Galicia. Fadeaway jumper by Jacob Galicia, no good.
Oh, that's gonna be 2 already on Lester Reyes.
As a penchant for picking up those early fouls, Lester Reyes.
Officials timeout.
Okay, we have an official's timeout here. Looks like we'll try to sort things out here with our table officials. We'll pause for a break. We'll be back.
Alam naman natin San Juan, malakas talaga yan. So ako naman, sasama lang ako sa kanila. Kasi sila buo na eh. Ayoko naman makagulo, di ba? Kung ano yung winning nila. So little by little, adjust. Ako yung mag-a-adjust.
So Aldrich Ramos, he's the player in question right now because, just to explain, so there was an initial lineup. He was not part of that. It was a different name. And then, I think they made some last-minute changes, ultimately allowing him to play in this ball game. And that's what the Pasig City side is now contesting. That's why Boss Buddy and Carnado is pretty much heated. So some technicalities here. Of course, Senator Jinggoy Estrada really eager to see his newest acquisition play. So just further explanation on that. So lahat ng ating mga top officials as well as the people from the Games and Amusements Board, they have a discussion regarding just sa mga lineups na yan, Happy. So, I think it's been all sorted out, although obviously, itong Pasig City hindi masaya kasi nga there's some confusion on that.
Yeah, especially because obviously on their part, hindi nila napaghandaan to.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think until now, Boss Buddy wants his game to stop.
So pretty Interesting development here. Bosbody Encarnado is now walking on the floor. And he's gonna have a word with our head of security, Rudy Distrito. Two minutes remaining here in the first quarter. San Juan with the momentum. All right, we'll need this break. We'll be back.
I came from nothing. Just a small boy from streets of General Santos City. No shoes, no food, no chance, just a dream in my heart. From flyweight to junior middleweight, 8 divisions. Thank you. Mabuhay ang Pilipinas. Mabuhay ang bawat Pilipinong nangangarap at lumalaban. This is our victory. This is our story, and the best is yet to come.
Manny Pacquiao is annihilating Oscar De La Hoya. That is the most spectacular one-punch set of Manny Pacquiao's incredible career. And he fights his way over and goes down again. Straight left lands for Manny. Does he have Cotto in trouble? Manny Pacquiao is a storm. Another huge left hand by Pacquiao. Punch after punch after punch. And he finds the straight left hand. And there's the punching down. Look at the brilliant accuracy of Manny Pacquiao. Landing with both right and left hands. This is why we use the word sensation.
Lastimosa, foot on the line. Still no go, and Larry Rodriguez doing a terrific
What a
job.
pass.
Wow! And Tolentino with a finish. Saktong-sakto.
I don't know who that was, but it looked to be Larry Patrick Mahomes Rodriguez.
Hindi ba Tom Brady yun? What a pass.
Ang mahirap pa sa pasa na yon, got the rebound in traffic, halos malapit na siya dun sa baseline, no, sa linya ng binyan. But the look ahead sa kabilang court, and obviously yung pag-execute ng pasa.
Pinan went too early. Gives an opportunity for Batangas, but Keith Pido getting the steal. Enough time for Pasig City. 5 seconds remaining. Manalang gets it back. Warlo Batak. Tax Bindel lays it up and in to beat the buzzer.
The young Warlo Batak making the right decision, not going for the three-point shot. He knew that he had it in him to be able to beat the clock by attacking the basket and still getting a high percentage shot.
Turco, it ends up as a turnover. Takbo si Jeff Comia. Comia stays in control, and Comia with a beautiful finish.
Sometimes you think that he's already out of control, but he really is in control. Gets another wily shot right there to not just entertain the crowd here, but to also extend this Davao lead.
Ano ba yun? Semi-Smithy ba yun?
Yeah, looking one way and going the other.
Moralde misses the layup.
Trying to fish for a foul, 2-on-1 coming up.
Sumido! Oh, Lander Cannon.
Pumatay ng lamok dun sa palpal na yun. Kita mo naman yung palpal na to, determinado. Uy, back-to-back blocks yun, ha?
Oh, dalawa.
By Mr. Cannon.
Well, Cannon has had a few highlights this season. No? Yung mga palpal niya.
Forward pass Perumingan to Chauca. Back to Tricky. Behind the back. Oh, what a pass to Sam Peralta for the deuce.
Practically a give and go. Tricky Peromingan gives it up. to Val Chauca, then gets it back, and then another pass, a spectacular one behind the back to Sam Peralta.
Thompson as well.
Sa laki ni Camson, no? Oftentimes he would expect a strong finish. That time, little finesse.
Caballero finds Camson! Basket and one. What a pass from Caballero to Eric Camson. Terrific finish galing kay Eric Camson.
So itong kombinasyon na to by Keanu and Eric ngayong gabi has been really effective.
Just went through it. The defense. Oh, what a shot to beat the buzzer.
How about that from Kit Jimenez?
Kit Jimenez already with a bunch of points in this game. Still 3 seconds. That definitely is gonna count para kay Kit Jimenez.
John Fa with a steal. 8 minutes left. John Fa switching hands in midair and now has established his new career high of 26 points.
Determined, this kid, he will move heaven and earth just to try and carry his team. After that missed basket, you get the stop again, but now it's back to a 60-point lead.
Wow! Where did that come from? Lawrence Paul Victoria gliding, hanging, and finishing. Look
Wow.
at this move.
Woo-wee! Me, oh my! Lawrence Paul Victoria.
Yan ang inaabangan ng mga tao dito.
Nabuhay ang Pasay Astrodome.
Castro with the ball. 4-second differential. Game clock and shot clock. Cuevas drives. It's short. Osicos to Espiritu. And Bulacan with a chance to win this game. Sumido. 5 seconds. JR Sumido with a runner. Oh! JR Sumido with a basket to give Bulacan the lead and possibly their first win of the season.
Kakaiba yung tapang na pinakita ni JR Sumido ron. But this running shot, momentum carrying him to the left side could be the possible game winner.
Big time plays from the Kuyas here down the stretch.
All right, we're back here at the Inares Sports Arena. So after that major lull, so Richard Rosales, one of the assistant coaches, and Boss Buddy Encarnado having a conversation. So the issue at hand is yung GAB license ni Aldrich Ramos. So apparently, it has expired but is in the process of being renewed, which according to our technical officials, sila Jojo Belna, sila George Magsino, they got the approval from the chairman himself sa GAB na pwede palaruin si Aldrich. And yun yung kino-contest ngayon ng Pasig City because one, he wasn't even part of the initial lineup, and two, yun nga, yung question with regards to the validity of his GAB license. But now, we continue action here. Aldrich Ramos is in playing para dito sa San Juan.
He is definitely gonna be a threat here, inside, outside. Really great player who can stretch the floor para sa San Juan, and isa nga sa mga player na sinabi ni Dexter Marquez na magpapadali ng trabaho niya dito sa loob. Although that time he got foiled by Lester Reyes, good stand defensively by Pasig, although they haven't been able to score since through
Number 11, Quintino, his first, and that is a 14th foul for Pasig City.
11-point lead for San Juan, and Pasig has been scoreless for quite some time now. This is a 12-0 run by the Knights. Asidre on the right side against Nico Panganiban. Fires a free. Can't get it to go. He tracks his own miss, but he got caught stepping on the sideline.
Yeah, Pasig has been scoreless for about 3 minutes already here in the first quarter.
39 seconds remaining here in quarter number 1. Hugnatan at the post. Surveying the floor against Galicia. Now posting up. Hugnatan. No good. Asidre with a rebound. Susugod si Keith Pido. And a chance for 2 free throws para dito kay Keith Pido.
Well, that proved to be the better decision para sa Pasig City to try and go for the higher percentage shot dahil matagal na nga sila walang puntos dito sa ating laro. Jerome Garcia was wide open on the left wing, but Pido had other things in mind. Important though that he makes these free throws. First one is good.
Stops that 12 unanswered points dished by the San Juan Knights. Making both free throws. We have a timeout by San Juan with 18 seconds remaining, up by 9. We'll pause for a break. .18 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. San Juan a chance to go for the last shot. Aldrich Ramos. Hand off to Joem Sabandal. 8 seconds remaining. Sabandal against Keith Pido. Panganiban, same spot. Different result, a miss. Galicia with a rebound, but they will not get off a shot. First quarter in the books. And after a seesaw first part of this particular period, San Juan making their run, separating themselves with a 12-0 blast.
Well, San Juan took advantage of the early turnovers that Pasig City had in the first minutes of this game. But Pasig City, in that first half of the first quarter, was actually able to knock down shots in a consistent manner, courtesy of Chito Jaime. Dexter Marquez took advantage of those turnovers, ran out on the break and got those lead passes, helping San Juan in establishing this early lead.
Head of Operations, Emer Arrieta. Head of Security, Rudy Distrito. Commissioner Kenneth Doremdes. And Joe Ramos. As the second quarter underway between San Juan and Pasig. And the Knights holding on to this 9-point lead, 20-11. Pasig was held scoreless for 6 minutes before those 2 free throws by Keith Pido. Now they start the second quarter. with Pido, J. Gars, who takes that shot off the mark. Asidre is also there with Nestor Reyes and Jacob Galicia.
Oh, they're saying it's San Juan ball, but most of the blue shirts adamantly contesting that call.
Alas, a coach's challenge by Coach Aldrin Morante. A lot of things have happened so far in this game.
It's been a crazy first half so far. Kakastart pa lang naman ng ating second quarter.
All right, we'll pause for the short break. We'll be back for the result of this challenge.
Upon review, the challenge was successful.
Successful challenge by Coach Aldrin Morante. Ball will go back to Pasig City.
Which means they still have one more challenge to use later on. This was the plain question. Asidre was going for the loose ball as well as... Was that Nico Panganiban?
Yeah. So big story in quarter number 1 was the number of turnovers Pasig City gave up, which led to 7 turnover points for San Juan early. That time, great execution. Jagar setting up Jacob Galicia inside.
And I think Pasig had a lot of quick attempts na hindi nila naipasok. I think a couple of them came from Mark Montuano, which also enabled San Juan to push the basketball and get easy 2 points in transition.
Turnover against San Juan, Pasig City. We've seen this time and time again, that second quarter comeback. Assist of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
Yeah, the wins that they've been able to garner this season has left us without any doubt that this Pasig team will put up a grand fight each and every game, no matter who's in front of them.
Pido pulls up, short. Reyes cleans it up. And now San Juan in the midst of a 6-0 run. 2015, 5-point lead. Soberano is in as well as John Galinato.
This is a little man zone Pasig's playing with.
Garcia comes away with it for Pasig. Asidre, Jagars thought about it, draws closer. Another turnover against Pasig City.
That's too tiny of a pass para kay Jerome Garcia to Jacob Galicia.
Great defense by Asidre, shutting down the door on AC, but finds Rene Lugnatan for that straightaway three-pointer.
Saan talaga mahilig pumwesto for open three-point shots sa mga big man ng San Juan. Earlier you saw Marquez, now it's Reynel Hugnatan.
Galicia jump shot off the mark. Galinato sa bandal. Lumapit, pull-up jumper, short. Galicia grabs the rebound. Pido whips it. Garcia, this time no hesitation, too strong. Soberano hauls in that rebound. Cross over by AC. Sa bandal. Hugnatan off that sa bandal miss, grabs the rebound. Soberano, too strong. Pido pushing it. Keith Pido. Jagars, power dribble, off the window it goes.
3-on-2 break, still ends up in a basket. Pido, I think, made a little late of a pass towards the Jagars, but still able to make something happen out of it.
6-point lead, 23-17. Sa bandal working with Aldrich Ramos. cut from the weak side. John Galinato got bumped out of position. 2 free throws coming up. This play of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
The two San Juan players there, Sabandal and Soberano, also did a good job of forcing Pido into that tight spot where he made that pass. Kaya medyo nahirapan pa doon si Jerome Garcia. Didn't matter, still 2 points para sa tropang Pasig.
Galinato makes good on his first free throw. Senator Jinggoy Estrada, alam nyo naman, basta free throws, nakamanman yan. How would you say is your free throw percentage, Mr. Palanya?
Can we please not comment on things that are outside of this game? Di na kasi kita mabobola dahil nakita mo na eh.
25-17, 8-point lead para dito sa San Juan. Sasalaksak si Keith Pido. Kick out pass. Warlo Batak. Short. Chito Jaime taps it to Batak. Inside they go. Keith Pido with a goofy foot layup. 25-19. Pasig just within striking distance here.
Pasig now actually out-rebounding San Juan by 3 after that offensive rebound.
And Pasig City is known to be a great offensive rebounding team. Batak on the move.
That should be 2 shots.
But Juan on the floor. Sabi ni Sev Pingol, napailig na lang doon si Warlo Batak. 6:22 left here in the second period. Warlo Batak. Jaime firing from deep, no good. Holding foul called on Reynel Hugnatan. Second foul on Fafare.
Aside from the 3-point shot of Chito Jaime in that first quarter, Pasig City has not been able to sink a 3. They're now 1 out of 8 from the outside.
Pasig City number 8 in terms of offensive rebounds. Jerome Garcia laban kay John Galinato. Pivots his way inside. And this is what you like. If you're Jerome Garcia, not forcing those outside shots, getting to the basket, getting into the paint.
Dahil gaya naman ang pinapakita niya ngayon, he does have that ability to mix it up inside, going for the higher percentage shots. Although he only has those kinds of numbers as it averages this season, we've seen some big games for Jerome Garcia para sa Pasig sa taong ito.
Played for Coach Alex Angeles back in Season 4 with Bacolod. 2 for 2 at the line for the former EAC General Jerome Garcia. This is the closest they've been to since San Juan established an 11-point lead earlier. It's 25-21. Galinato fires and knocks it down from the left corner.
They set up that offense with a little ball screen on the right side, and Galinato fading away to that deep left corner. Pido had his hand up, but it was just not enough. Gorgeous finish there by Warlo Batak.
Warlo Batak took flight for that layup. 28-23. Kalisaan, short stab, left it short. Reyes clears it for Pasig City. Pido pulls up from 20 feet, no good. Garcia tracks it down. Pido saving it to Chito Jaime. Now Jaime puts it up from 3, no good. Mabalik ang bola sa Pasig City. Third chance opportunity. Batak drives and got clipped on his way to the basket.
Yeah, that's why it's been so easy for a lot of fans who haven't really been paying attention to Pasig this season to actually gain some sympathy and actually go in the process of admiring this team, because they may not have the biggest names like we always say, pero yung effort, yung attitude na binibigay nila sa sahig, ibang klase.
And people may say these guys are a bunch of misfits.
Nah, I would
Diba?
definitely
Oh!
say no. And I will say yes to that. For sure.
Slam dunk by Warlo Batak brings this crowd alive inside the Inares Sports Arena. My goodness, Warlo Batak using that launch pad, and it's now the lead down to 3 points, 28-25. Warlo Bata against Basilan, 19 points, 5 rebounds, 66.7% from the field and from the line. And today, picking him up from where he left off with these highlight plays, Warlo Batak, the youngster, only 25 years old, oozing with potential.
In that game against Basilan was more impressive because of the fact that he also was going up against bigger names on the opposing team at his position. Guys who are very highly touted compared to him, but he outshone a lot of those players and ended up with a victory as well for their team.
And also delivered in a clutch. Had that huge three-pointer in overtime as well. Also knocked down key free throws. Lester Reyes, pasok yung kanyang unang free throw. Most body Encarnado. Always supportive of tropang Pasig. Itong free throw na ito atid sa atin na Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. 1 out of 2. Mike Kiss with a rebound para sa San Juan. 28-26. 4:24 left here in the second period. Mike Kiss at the free throw line. Steps in. Kalisaan can't find the mark on that short jumper. Chance to tie or take the lead para sa Pasig City. Pido.
Ooh, that's travel.
Yeah.
Just a lot of frustration right now para kay Chito Jaime. You know, it was a good start para sa kanya sa laro na to. He has yet to make an impact after that.
4 minutes left. 2-point lead. Kalisaan finally buries that 12-foot jumper. 6 points for Mike Kalisaan. 30-26. Keith Pido, signature shot. That one won't work. Alforque, lob, Mike Kiss. The catch. The flip shot is good. Mike Kiss with 10 points. First guy in double figures para dito sa Knights.
Basta talaga maganda yung posisyon niya. Pasahan mo lang siya ng ititira niya na lang. He's gonna do the rest. Ito si Dexter Maiquez.
You know, one guy we have not seen has been Orlan Wamar.
He is in uniform, but I don't think he's gonna be seeing action tonight.
3 and 10 left. Morante getting a stint here for Pasig City, the son of Coach Aldrin. Jaime misfiring from the outside. Now he breaks up that play. Morante gets Galinato. Lost the basketball. But John Galinato called for that foul. And San Juan is in penalty.
John Galinato penalty, second.
So free throws coming up.
2 free throws, Aaron Morante.
Aaron Morante. Short. If I'm not mistaken, I think he played for San Beda Alabang. Very familiar si Coach Mike dito kay Morante. And getting some important minutes here. These are not garbage time minutes he's playing right now.
And he really has a heavy responsibility of trying to organize the offense right now para sa Pasig, especially against more experienced guards.
Now task to guard John Galinato. Denison. Back to Galinato. Binabantayan ni Morante. Using that Maikes screen. Denison. Let's Batak flyby. Inside Maikes. Walang foul na tinawag. Nakakuha. Imuntuano yung bola. Bouncing it off by Kalisaan. Giving them that possession.
Substitution, Rocky
Heads up play by the veteran. And the defense as well on that half-court set by San Juan.
6-point lead. Morante at the controls. Jaime. Now it's Aaron Morante to Rocky Asidre. Crossover. Getting past AC Soberano. Again, no foul called. Lot of contact. Wait a minute, something's brewing on. And
The initial call was same ball. I think San Juan is going to try to challenge this.
Between number 7, Ron Denison, and number 28, Chito Jaime, both for unsportsmanlike behavior.
okay, so si Ron Denison and Chito Jaime both got warned for unsportsmanlike behavior. Had a brief skirmish
7
there.
on the shot clock,
Hindi
7
na
on
lang
the
para
shoot.
itutuloy yung challenge.
Chito Jaime. 3 on their shot clock. Morante has to put it up. Batak. It was still in his hands when he launched that shot.
Morante, as the point guard, should be well aware of the shot clock situation. Siya dapat ang nagsasabi sa sahig sa kanyang mga teammates that there is 6 seconds left.
At mismong tatay niya is on his ear after that miscue. Under 2 minutes left. Galinato bounce pass. Ron Denison from the left corner. Rolls out. Maikes, wala pa ring foul. Tatakbo dito ang Pasig. Batak, aggressive take to the basket. And Denison is down as he collided with Mark Montuano. That was away from play.
Both teams advise to observe proper bench
A minute and 38, a lot of color developing in this matchup between San Juan and Pasig City.
What a very eventful game. And we still have 2 more quarters to go.
So referees will review this one, but Batak will also troop to the line for 2 free throws. And Coach Aldrin Morante coaching hard. You know, for Pasig, they had quite an eventful start. Won their first 2 games and then dropped 5 straight. At one point, they were at 2-5, but they've turned things around and they've won 5 of their last 6 games. And that's why they have a 7-6 record at the moment. And they have crept up the North Division standings. They are currently number 8. San Juan is at number 3. 6-point lead for the Knights, 32-26.
At di rin naman naging biro yung mga nakalaban nila dun sa 5 out of the last 6 games nila.
Yeah.
They were able to go up against tough teams and won those games against Bataan, Parañaque, Quezon City, Valenzuela, and of course the biggest fish in that winning spree was against the Basilan Star Horse, the most recent victim of Tropang Pasig.
And the lone loss during that run was against Batangas City. And if you remember that game, I think we both covered that one in San Andres. The hot shooting of Rocky Hasidro in the second quarter. They had the lead going into the halftime break, but Batangas, using their experience, they were able to claw their way back and pull it under the rug of Pasig City in the second half.
At saka medyo minalas na rin yung shooting ng Pasig in the second half. It just wasn't the same, considering how often those shots, especially from the outside, were falling for Pasig City in that game.
So no call on that play away from the basketball. So Batak will just shoot 2. 7 points, 63.2% from the line this season. Both free throws knocked down, 32-28. Maiquez. Now it's Galinato. Kalisaan. Right elbow jumper, no good. Denison able to track it down. Inside, Maiquez. Pretty much automatic.
Around the basket, whether it's a fall away, a short stab, a one-hander, a hook shot, you name it, Maiquez has a high percentage of making those shots.
At the post, Montuano. Follow-up, wala pa din. Under a minute to go here in the second period. Soberano, catch and shoot free, no good. Kalisaan pulls it back out. Offensive rebounds have been key para dito sa San Juan. Maiquez thought Denison was cutting at the middle.
What about the rotation defensively for Pasig? Just really working on closing out each time. Sinasabayan talaga nila yung flight ng bola.
Batak against one of the best defenders here in the league, but getting past him for the layup plus a foul.
This guy has added more moves into his package.
Yeah.
I mean, from the first part of the season, when we started covering him this year, he has definitely added more to his repertoire.
Hickser, great move of the game, born for greatness. And again, you know, probably the prospects of Pasig City having a deep playoff run hinges on the growth and development of this youngster, Warlo Batak, who now has 11 points.
I certainly agree, and at this point, sky's the limit for that kid.
2 seconds remaining. Maiquez for free. Dista mo na. Dexter Maiquez with 15 points here in the first half.
Inside, outside, walang problema para kay Dexter Maiquez, but credit a lot to the other guys on the floor. San Juan has really been making a conscious effort of locating the big man.
At the half, San Juan with a 6-point lead over Pasig City, 37-31.
Lastimosa, foot on the line. Still no go, and Larry Rodriguez doing a terrific
What a
job.
pass.
Wow! And Tolentino with a finish. Saktong-sakto.
I don't know who that was, but it looked to be Larry Patrick Mahomes Rodriguez.
Hindi ba Tom Brady yun? What a pass.
Ang mahirap pa sa pasa na yon, got the rebound in traffic, halos malapit na siya dun sa baseline, no, sa linya ng binyan. But the look ahead sa kabilang court, and obviously yung pag-execute ng pasa.
Kapinan went too early. Gives an opportunity for Batangas, but Keith Pido getting the steal. Enough time for Pasig City. 5 seconds remaining. Manalang gets it back. Warlo Batak. Dax Bindel lays it up and in to beat the buzzer.
The young Warlo Batak making the right decision, not going for the three-point shot. He knew that he had it in him to be able to beat the clock by attacking the basket and still getting a high percentage shot.
Turco, it ends up as a turnover. Takbo si Jeff Comia. Comia stays in control, and Comia with a beautiful finish.
Sometimes you think that he's already out of control, but he really is in control. Gets another wily shot right there to not just entertain the crowd here, but to also extend this Davao lead.
Ano ba yun? Semi-smithy ba yun?
Yeah, looking one way and going the other.
Moralde misses the layup.
Trying to fish for a foul. 2-on-1 coming up.
Sumido! Oh, lander cannon.
Pumatay ng lamok doon sa palpal na yun. Kita mo naman yung palpal na to, determinado. Uy, back-to-back blocks yun, ha?
Oh, dalawa.
By Mr. Cannon.
Well, Cannon has had a few highlights this season. No? Yung mga palpal niya.
Forward pass Peromingan to Chauca. Back to Tricky. Behind the back. Oh, what a pass to Sam Peralta for the deuce.
Practically a give and go. Tricky Peromingan gives it up to Val Chauca, then gets it back, and then another pass, a spectacular one behind the back to Sam Peralta.
Kamson as well.
Sa laki ni Kamson, no? Oftentimes he would expect a strong finish. That time, little finesse.
Caballero finds Kamson! Basket and one. What a pass from Caballero to Eric Kamson. Terrific finish galing kay Eric
So
Kamson.
itong kombinasyon na to by Keanu and Eric ngayong gabi has been really effective.
Went through it. The defense. Oh!
What a shot to beat the buzzer. How about that from Kit Jimenez?
Kit Jimenez already with a bunch of points in this game. Still 3 seconds. That definitely is gonna count para kay Kit Jimenez.
John Fa with a steal. 8 minutes left. John Fa switching hands in midair, and now has established his new career high of 26 points.
Determined. This kid, he will move heaven and earth just to try and carry his team. After that missed basket, you get the stop again, but now it's back to a 60-point lead.
Wow! Where did that come from? Lawrence Paul Victoria gliding, hanging, and finishing. Look
Wow.
at this move.
Woo-wee! Me, oh my. Lawrence Paul, Victoria.
Yan ang inaabangan ng mga tao dito.
Nabuhay ang Pasay Astrodome.
Castro with the ball. 4-second differential. Game clock and shot clock. Cuevas drives. It's short. Osicos to Espiritu. And Bulacan with a chance to win this game. Sumido. 5 seconds. JR Sumido with a runner. Oh! JR Sumido with a basket to give Bulacan the lead and possibly their first win of the season.
Kakaiba yung tapang na pinakita ni JR Sumido ron. But this running shot, momentum carrying him to the left side, could be the possible game winner.
Big time plays from the Kuyas here down the stretch.
First contestant natin, si Richard Inot. Alright, Richard, good luck para sa bagong Suzuki Bergman. Let's go! Thank you very much, Richard. Up next, si Rainiel Manlapig. Alright, Rainiel, let's go! Thank you very much, Rainiel. Last one, si Makoy Petralva. All right, Makoy, good luck. And thank you very much, and that's it for our Suzuki Halftime Half Controller Challenge, brought to us by Suzuki. the official motorcycle partner of the MPBL. With Suzuki, oras na para magmotor.
At the half, San Juan up by 6 over Pasig City, 37-31. Muli po Ken Pangilinan with Javi Palanya at courtside. We have Miss Sydney Crespo. And pretty much back and forth yung first part ng ating first quarter between these two squads, Javi. Pero yung 12-0 run naging difference for San Juan to establish their biggest lead at 11 points. But Pasig City came roaring back as expected. Those second quarters have been key to their success and they were able to chop down this lead. It's now down to 6 at the half, 37-31.
Yeah, most of the turnovers of Pasig City came after that start in the first quarter, which was actually the one responsible for them going down early. Most of those turnovers talaga nagawa ng puntos ng San Juan. 8 turnovers were converted into 12 turnover points for the Knights. But in the second quarter, the defense became a lot more disciplined. Pasig City was able to knock down shots, although not a lot of three-pointers were made for Pasig. In fact, they only had one in that first half. They were able to get a better clip from the field and were also able to get to the line a lot more than San Juan.
1 out of 11 from free, but they did have 10 offensive rebounds. That's key to their success. They're one of the top teams in offensive rebounds and second chance points. Third quarter underway. Marquez, who had 15 points in the third, starts here. Now he fires. That one bounces out. Tapikan ng bola. Napunta kay Mike Calisaan. Nilabas papunta kay Denison. Alforque at the controls. Same starting unit para dito kay Coach Alex Angeles. Bagsak si Alforque. Nakipag-agawan kay Chito Jaime. Inside, Calisaan. High off the glass and in.
Very frustrating for Pasig City, especially because Chito Jaime was already on the floor, really trying to battle for possession with a San Juan player, but still ended up in a basket for the Knights. Nothing for Pasig to do but to move forward and to try and score on this possession.
Garcia for free, no. Alforque whips it to Marquez. Pasa kay Calisaan. Nagkagulo na naman sila doon, but San Juan will swing it to the other side. Marquez. Foul called on Jerome Garcia.
Very unnecessary there on the part of Jerome Garcia. First of all, shot clock was winding down. And second of all, there's really no reason for him to do that.
Baseline inbound. Royce Alforque will trigger it in. Pasig has Warlo Batak, Keith Pido, Lester Reyes, Chito Jaime, and Jerome Garcia. So slightly smaller lineup compared to the one they had to begin the game. Marquez thought about it. Another foul called on Jerome Garcia. Di naman sadya, no? Immediately apologizing to Dexter Marquez.
Foul number 44, Jerome Garcia is second.
Just got caught in the air.
Foul, 14 to shoot.
So caught his throat.
And naunahan ni Marquez after that fake. Garcia wasn't able to move his feet.
Denison fires.
Oh, nobody blocking out Calisaan.
Marquez. Those two have been a thorn on the side of Pasig City. Grabbing those offensive boards, giving them second chance opportunities.
Oh, they gotta regroup here. Itong Pasig City, they can't allow these San Juan big men to pull down those offensive rebounds.
Third foul called on Lester Reyes. An early trip to the bench to begin the third. Marquez at the line. Let's check in with Miss Sydney Crespo.
Isa nga sa kilalang-kilala nila Coach Alex and Assistant Coach RBI itong si Mark Montuano na nakasama nila sa Bacoor noon. No? As for Mark, he also knows how competitive ang duo na ito. Kaya as one of the veterans in Pasig, he talked to his teammates and told them na huwag magpadala sa pressure. He also mentioned the importance of being decisive in this game. Sabi nga ni Coach Aldrin, they need to replicate the defensive effort shown versus Basilan last time. And from the dugout, binanggit niya ulit yung maging maingat daw sa crucial lapses. He wants to see again how they fought for second chance opportunities. Take care of the ball and don't be too risky. Si Chito Jaime may maliit na cut sa likod ng right ear niya. No? The medic had to clean it kanina during halftime and make sure it's not bleeding anymore before the second half. Sabi ni Chito, physical talaga yung game ngayon, Ken Javi.
And it's up to Pasig City to match the intensity being shown by San Juan right now as they're making their move here to begin the third quarter, up by 11 points, matching their biggest so far. Batak able to sneak in from the weak side and score.
That's a nice find galing kay Mark Montuano, seeing the floor and having a look at those cutters. That time it was Warlo Batak. Montuano is one of 4 former players of Coach Alex and Coach RB on this Pasig City team. Of course, the others being the guy that Calisaan just scored on, Chito Jaime, Jerome Garcia in Bacolod, and then Rocky Asidre. So 3 former Bacoor players and 1 former Bacolod player.
And those Bacoor players made it all the way to the finals with Coach Alex. Alforque, Denison whips a pass. Villoria. Ball will stay with San Juan after he got blocked. The assist of the game is brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
At that time, Ron Denison, yes, he was inside trying to guard the middle of the paint, but he was there just ball watching.
11-point lead. Villoria puts it up. Jerome Garcia tracks down the miss. Cut inside. Montuano. Nahuling. Tumulak si Royce Alforque.
Foul on number 13. Royce
As he
Alforque.
fought for rebounding position there.
First team foul for San Juan Knights.
Third foul against Royce Alforque. Baseline inbound for the guys in blue. Pasig City. Down by 11 right now. 44-33. Montuano catches. Batak. Back to Mark. Montuano. Short stab. Marquez the rebound.
He's missed his last 3 shots.
Marquez now with a double-double. 18 points, 10 rebounds. Alforque. This is something that they did so well against Muntinlupa. Finding weak side. Ito si Mike Calisaan.
Those drives, whether it's going to the middle or going to the strong side, the guys on the opposite end, the weak side, do so much of a good job on those slot cuts. They time it really well. At ang ganda rin ng mga nagiging pasa ng mga umaatake galing sa San Juan.
Now they force a turnover. This is the biggest lead right now for the Knights at 13 points. 46-33. And even without Orlan Wamar, playing like a well-oiled machine itong San Juan Knights. Denison. Laban kay Batak. Sa bandal. 7 seconds sa kanilang shot clock. Joem now against Jacob Galicia. Puts it on the deck. Fades away. Way off the mark. Garcia. The spin! And the layup by Jerome Garcia.
I love how he tried to look at his options, but he saw that wala talaga siya mapapasahan ng malinis. I saw the look in his eyes, and that was the last thing on his mind to try and go for a shot, but he eventually still did. What a nice spin. But nakasagot rin ang San Juan dun sa kabilang dulo. Calisan has been having his way inside here in the third.
Ang hirap timingan eh. Paano babantayan yung mga off-ball cuts nito nila Calisaan. As this play of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
The reason behind that, we once again see this beautiful spin galing kay Jay Gars. The reason behind those missed coverages sa mga slot cuts nitong San Juan is because the guy with the basketball does a good job of being a threat na hindi alam ng depensa kung ano yung babantayan nila. Are they gonna go and try to stop the drive, or are they gonna try and kakargahan ba nila yung kabilang side ng floor and just let the guy with the basketball go one-on-one with the guy in front of him?
And Muntinlupa had all sorts of trouble dealing with that player movement by San Juan. Let's see if Pasig City could find some answers here. Nico Panganiban. Bounce pass inside. A steal by Jacob Galicia. Asidre is now in for Pasig City. Keith Pido. His turn of a spin move, but he can't finish. Sa bandal. Marquez. Attacks. Marquez still with a basketball. Flips it up. 2 shots coming up.
Foul on number 28.
Former San Sebastian Stag, Dexter Marquez.
Foul 4 on Pasig City.
Ay, hindi. Mukhang baseline out
Oh,
of
it
bounds
looked
lang.
like a shot attempt. He flipped it up.
Yun nga eh. Joseph Pingol overruling the other game official's call.
Oo, sinabi na kanina eh.
2 free throws, Dexter Marquez.
So Marquez at the line. 18 points, 10 rebounds. Di Kapampangan continues to impress considering he was a last-minute addition in the lineup. .12 lead for the Knights. Marquez with a 20-10 game.
He played high-level college basketball para sa San Sebastian in the NCAA. But in my opinion, he became an even better player when he stepped in the pros.
Yeah. He was overshadowed by other guys there in San Sebastian. 3-point shot galing kay Mark Montuano cuts this deficit down to 10 points.
Those are his first points of the game. I can't believe it.
He's had multiple shot attempts. Cross-court pass, Panganiban. Villapando's turn for a free. Pops out. Montuano emphatically grabs the rebound. Behind the back, Keith Pido. Asidre steps into a free. No! Villapando with a rebound. Villapando attacks. Ooh, a foul.
Oh, I'm not quite sure of that. I thought that was excellent defense by Pasig.
3-point shot brought to you by Extreme, your one-stop shop appliances.
Big handoff, and there was just that little bit of space given by Marquez to allow Montuano a comfortable look at the three.
Shooting 2, Ken Villapando.
Also a former San Sebastian Stag, Ken Villapando. Makes good on the first free throw. Tignan natin, courtside, si Miss Sydney Crespo.
2 practices pa lang daw ang naabutan ni Aldrich Ramos before tonight's game. Kwento niya, nakita niya agad yung winning culture ng San Juan Knights mula sa maikling preparation na yon. Nilapitan niya raw si Mike Kalisaan sa practice, former teammate niya sa Magnolia, at tinanong daw niya kung kamusta dito sa San Juan. And of course, Mike has a lot of good things and even memories to share being part of the San Juan core. Aldrich told me, nandito ako para tumulong, buo na sila, hindi ko guguluhin yan. Kanina, nakita niya si Ronald Tubid and he was here to support his former Terra Firma player. Sabi niya, itong si Aldrich, he's a very good leader, a listener, and he can effortlessly lead a team. Nahiya pa nga daw si Aldrich kay Ronald, baka hindi daw siya makapaglaro. But now, we welcome him to the MPBL. Ken Avi.
Welcome to the MPBL, Aldrich Ramos. Maraming salamat, Sydney Crespo. And, you know, that's a good mindset to have. You're a veteran, yet, you know, the ego's out of the window, Javi. He's trying to fit in to this, whatever San Juan has built already in their first 14 games.
Well, sa pagkasubaybay ko naman sa kanyang karera, ito si Aldrich Ramos, he's never been the type of player to have an ego. He's always been someone who does everything for the betterment of his team.
And that's why he's such a great fit dito sa San Juan. You know, guys like Riedel Hugnatan in there, Kalisaan, Marquez.
He's a well-decorated player who has been a part of winning cultures all throughout his professional and playing career. College pa lang, played for FEU, and he was able to play with some great basketball players on that squad. And pagdating after that, played for the original Gilas team.
Yeah, Gilas 1.0. Oh, Keith Pido able to dissect the defense. Lays it up and in, plus a foul.
He's been struggling with a jump shot in this game. Ito si Keith Pido. In fact, only 1 field goal to his name, but that time went and cut through the defense to finish with the left hand.
Fast break of the game brought to you by Extreme X Play on-the-go speaker. Take your music anywhere. Missing though on that bonus free throw. But this lead has been cut to 9, 51-42. 2:35 left here in the third. Sa bandal. Nico Panganiban. Bounce pass. Aldrich Ramos facing up. Familiar looking jumper right there for the for the former FEU Tamaraw.
He's always been a sweet shooting big man. Ito si Aldrich Ramos. Face-up jumpers are one of his specialties. At syempre dito sa MPBL, mas konti na yung mas malaki sa kanya na player. And mas marami ng player kung saan mas matangkad siya.
2 minutes.
11-point lead, Asidre. That one off the leg of Joim Sabandal. Bata comes in for Chito Jaime. A bit smaller lineup now for Pasig.
6 seconds to shoot.
So Galicia had his hand up there, but the height advantage just taken into account there by Aldrich Ramos.
Batak. Montuano for free. No good. Keith Pito thought that Joim Sabandal held him up. Instead, he was the one called for that foul. Both teams in penalty. The former Adamson Falcon trooping to the line. Joim Sabandal.
Shooting 2, Joem Sabandal.
A minute and 51 left here in the third. LGR is the official outfitter of the MPBL.
Napailing na naman si Sen Jinggoy.
Basta free throws talaga eh. So, ang requirement kay Senator Jinggoy, dapat mga 80% free throw shooter kaya dapat eh.
Ganun.
Hindi ako pwede dun. 79% lang ako eh. 54-42, 12-point lead. Para dito sa San Juan. Keith Pido. Skip pass to Warlo Batak. Asidre continues to fire, continues to miss. And Villapando skies high for that rebound.
That three-point shot just not as kind for Pasig City in this game. 2 out of 17 mula sa labas.
Panganiban, no. Another second chance opportunity for San Juan. Ramos has found his sweet spot.
That's just gonna be all day para kay Aldrich. I'm telling you, that face-up jumper, because he will be towering over most of the big men here in the league, will make his job a lot more easier.
This one pretty much automatic.
Nico Panganiban.
Oh, Nico Panganiban on the other side, quickly scoring, and this lead has ballooned to its biggest at 16 points.
Hindi pwede mawalan ng gana dito ang Pasig City. They have to continue to fight here or else this lead will just balloon to even bigger amounts.
This zone defense has given Pasig City problems. Batak short, 2 of 18 now are the tropang Pasig from free. Montuano, up fake, wala pa din.
Wow, it's just been a long night para kay Mark Montuano. 1 out of 12 from the field. A lot of that, by the way, have come from up close, Ken.
Yeah. Time winding down, a second remaining. Sabandal will head to the line as he got fouled just before the buzzer.
If you're a guard coming out of college and you're trying to make your name in the professional ranks, San Juan is definitely not a bad place to go to. They have produced some of the finest guards.
Yeah. Came at around the 1 second mark. And that's the thing about San Juan. You know, mga low-key acquisitions ito eh. Yung Joem Sabandal, Roy Salforque. No, not the bigger household names coming out of college. But their contributions have been immense para dito sa Knights.
And I'm sure Coach Alex Angeles is very happy with the progress that these players have made this season. And many people were kind of confused as to why they didn't get the bigger names. But they made sure that they got players who will fit right into the system and will be able to really help them win on a high scale.
That's the second official time remaining in the third quarter.
San
is
Juan has
1
always
second.
made it all the way, at least in the division finals, in each of their 5 seasons that they participated in. And there were seasons where yung projection sa kanila hindi hanggang doon. I think that was back in season 5. They faced off against Nueva Ecija in the North Division semifinals, but got the upset. That was back when Coach Gerson was at the helm. That was his last year with Nueva Ecija.
But that was quite the series.
So Bandaldo missing both. That's gonna do it here in the third quarter, and the Knights plus 10 in this quarter. Highlights of the game brought to you by Sip Plus, the official hydration partner of the MPBL. Elevate your hydration.
Oh, Dexter Marquez continues to terrorize anywhere on the floor para sa San Juan Knights. 20 points in this game for him. Jerome Garcia came alive for a stretch, but Aldrich Ramos showing us why San Juan got him, hitting back-to-back jumpers against Jacob Galicia on that baseline, helping the Knights to this 16-point advantage at the end of 3 quarters.
Back with us here inside the Inares Sports Arena in Pasig City. Gixer fan of the game, born for greatness. At itong Pasig has 10 more minutes to catch up to the 16-point lead established by the San Juan Knights. They had a good start in the first 2 quarters.
Bakit biglang binalik?
Actually have a good-sized crowd
Yeah.
on a first day night dito sa Inares.
Yeah, more than the usual that we draw here.
Special deal from OneXBet. Scan the QR code and claim your special offer. Glad to have you with us here, mga kaliga. Ken Pangilinan with Javi Palanya at courtside, Miss Sydney Crespo. And you see the quarter scoring 2011 for San Juan, 2017 naman for Pasig City. Bagyan nakabawi in that period, but in the third, plus 10 ang San Juan to erect the 16-point lead they currently have right now, 58-42.
And Pasig City out of the halftime break was shooting 32.4%. Oh, my goodness. One of the good things that he can do is also pass the basketball. Ito si Aldrich Ramos is showing us what he can do on the floor here para sa San Juan.
I was under the impression that he was trying to fit in, but that didn't seem like the case on that last play. Chito Jaime, just only the third triple para dito sa Pasig.
And what I was saying earlier, Pasig City was shooting 32.4% at halftime, and San Juan managed to bring that percentage down to as low as 28% at the end of the third quarter. That's just a testament to their defense, which has been amazing so far. But Warlo Batak and Pasig City trying to mount a run to start the fourth quarter.
Assist of the game brought to you by OneXBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with OneXBet.
2 veterans connecting there. Aldrich Ramos finding Papa Ray. Imagine how many years of basketball experience between those two.
Yeah.
It's still playing at a high level here in the MPBL.
Lalo si Papa Ray, since 1998 with the Negro Slashers in the NBA. 27 years later, still alive and kicking dito sa MPBL.
My goodness.
Galinato gives it up to Nico Pangaliban. 10 seconds on their shot clock. Pangaliban pulls it back out. Fires a free. No good. Running start for Keith Pido. Pido, no good. Hugnatan snares the rebound. Galinato, Villapando, Hugnatan, Ramos, and Panganiban. The unit for Coach Alex Angeles. Playing without Orlan Wamar today. Galinato. Pretty much automatic when you give him that kind of space. 63-46. Jerome Garcia, Lester Reyes, Chito Jaime, Keith Pido, and Warlo Batak naman for Coach Aldrin Morante. Jaime, no. Hugnatan with another board. Villapando falls down on the floor and he traveled.
Substitutions, AC Soberano.
Soberano comes in and Arvin Gamboa for San Juan.
For Kenneth Villapando.
Rocky Asidre naman ang papasok para dito sa Pasig City, replacing Keith Pido.
Warning on number 15, Arvin Gamboa, for violating the uniform protocol.
No, one guy I haven't seen here in the second half for Pasig City has been Robbie Manalang.
You're right.
Di ba?
And I don't even think he on the bench. Yes, he is on the bench. He's on the end.
And he is averaging by far the most minutes para dito sa Pasig.
That is very weird. I'd love to know the reason behind it.
Foul on number 17, Aldrich Ramos is
Because
second.
at this point, they definitely need Robbie, his leadership, his outside sniping, and just his presence on the court para sa Pasig City.
Batak attacks over Reynel Hugnatan. 2 free throws coming up for Warlo Batak.
Foul on number 21.
And I'd also like to follow that up with,
personal foul.
Keith Pido hasn't been doing a tremendous job quarterbacking here in the second half for Pasig City. So I don't understand why Coach Aldrin still continues to stick with him.
Kasi kung titignan mo yung Pasig, hindi I think may injury ba to si Robbie Manalang. He's clutching on to his right thigh. Spot Encarnado having a long look because Pasig down by 16 points, 63-47. Galinato attacks the closeout and goes for that mid-range jumper.
He's been steady here in the second half. Ito si John Galinato. Catch and shoot or off the bounce. He's been very dependable to knock down shots.
So, Sid, as soon as I mentioned that di natin nakita si Robbie Manalang, promptly went back to the bench of Pasig and discovered that ito si Robbie Manalang pulled his hamstring in the first quarter. So, hindi niya masyadong magalaw yung right leg niya, thus riding the bench. But boy, San Juan just continuing to pour it on. John Galinato again for the Knights.
5 straight points off the closeout, attacking, couple of dribbles, leaning in on that jumper. This time, nobody in front of him. Catch and shoot, top of the circle, bottom para kay John Galinato. This is now a 21-point lead for the Knights.
Fan of the game brought to you by LGR, the official outfitter of the MPBL. Battle between teams in the North Division, both riding on impressive streaks at the moment. San Juan, after that loss against Nueva Ecija, beginning another win streak as they get the steal of that Pasig City turnover. Gamboa though fails to finish. Bata crossover. Kick out pass. Garcia too strong on that free. And you know, Pasig City lives and dies by that three-point shot. And that three-pointer has failed them miserably here in the second half.
Yeah, they were 11 out of 34 against Basilan. That's 32.4%. Tonight, only 3 out of 21. A measly 14% from the outside for Pasig.
Jaime got fouled by John Galinato.
Foul on number 11, John Galinato.
Mayroong diskusyon si Coach Alex at si Senator Jinggoy kung gagamitin ba nila yung coach's challenge. Huwag na daw, sabi ni Sen. Huwag na.
Mapapatagal pa raw kasi.
Oh. Chito Jaime, pasok yung unang free throw. Boss Buddy Encarnado. Itong free throw na ito, atid sa atin na Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kumpletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. 2 for 2. Now 2 of 3 after that miss.
Yeah, one of the toughest challenges for any team is really to try and still play good, intense defense and try to prevent your opponent from scoring habang ikaw hindi ka rin nakakapagpapuntos. Dahil most players, most teams, naging default mood yan eh, na dun sila talaga kukuha nung gana nila sa depensa pag nakakascore sila. When they don't get baskets, there's really not enough motivation compared to as when you are able to make baskets on your side of the floor.
Warlo Batak got fouled again. 2 shots coming up for the Malolos Bulacan native. Played for Bulacan State University. Also had a stint with Muntinlupa. Played limited minutes there, but here getting a grand opportunity to showcase his talents. 17 points for Warlo Batak. 68-51. Viloria. That's his former teammate, Jerome Garcia. Craniel cranks it up, no good. Jaime. Garcia. Frees have not been falling for Pasig City tonight. Galinato. Short off the glass. Garcia thought about it. Nahanap si Rocky Asindre. Maging siya hindi makapuntos from beyond the arc. Chito Jaime able to get the putback. Lead down to 15.
Even the open looks talagang hindi nahuhulog para sa kanila. They're getting good open shots from the outside in spots where they usually make it. But even that, hindi talaga pumapasok. Good thing Jaime was there. Might have even gotten away with a foul. But nonetheless, you know, this is still manageable para sa Pasig. 15-point lead, 4 minutes remaining.
San Juan gearing up for that Titanic showdown on the 26th of June. Kalaban ng Pangasinan Heatwaves on July 12 versus Quezon City, and on the 17th versus the Manila Batang Quiapo. Special deal from MonixBet. Scan the QR code and claim your special offer. 68-53. Under 4 minutes remaining. Still a slight chance if you're Pasig City, as they made their run, 6-0 run currently. Viloria airballs that free. Glimmer of hope para sa tropang Pasig.
Well, San Juan should hope that that smile won't be wiped away from Senator Jinggoy's face at the end of this game.
Jaime forcing up that free. Viloria at the controls. Offensive foul against Joseph Ubalde.
Offensive foul on number 27, Joseph
Nasikmuraan yata si Warlo Batak dun.
Substitution,
Yeah, looks like he got the wind knocked off
Jacob
out of him.
Avisha for Lester Reyes.
So Batak gets up. Just a regular foul against Joseph Ubalde, who, by the way, without Rienel Hugnatan for a handful of games, has done a splendid job of playing that backup center spot para dito sa San Juan.
Shot clock at 14 seconds.
Malala mo, muntik na nga mag-best player yan eh. Kalaban niya, Val City, di ba?
Yeah.
If not for that hot shooting of AC Soberano as Warlo Bata continues to score up to 19 points.
13 puntos na lang ito.
Pwede pa if you're Pasig. 8 straight points. At the elbow, Ubalde. Viloria thought about it. Now drives. Gets bumped by Jerome Garcia. Play of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
Upper body strength being shown there by Warlo Batak after getting hit with the offensive foul by Ubalde. Still able to absorb that kind of contact and finish through it.
First free throw good for the former Arellano chief, Reniel Viloria. Way short on the second. Isidre brings the ball down for Pasig. Jaime. Batak inside. 2 more free throws coming up.
So even if they do need a quick basket, you know, Pasig City not trying to get anything that's out of control. They went to their offense and moved that basketball, waited for the defense to commit a mistake.
Batak is 10th and 11 attempts from the line. Now 8 of 10 from the stripe. Nine out of 11 now. 82%. 69-57. Almost got a steal. Galinato recovers. 12 on their shot clock. John Galinato dancing with Warlo Batak. Batak staying in front. 4 seconds remaining. Viloria challenge shot. No good. Ubalde offensive rebound. Another one from Viloria. Ubalde multiple up fakes. Wala pa din. Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
That definitely hurts.
Soberano nailing that free, pushing the lead back up to it to 15 points, 72-57.
So Pasig City allowed 3 offensive rebounds for San Juan in that single possession. I was about to say, San Juan doesn't need to put up a shot.
Timeout Pasig down by 15, 2 minutes and 3 seconds left. Still with us here at the Inares Sports Arena in Pasig City. The first home game in 2 years for Pasig City. Valiant effort for them, but you know, the big shots coming from San Juan. They now have this 15-point lead, 2 minutes and 3 seconds left. And slowly but surely, the window closing para dito sa Pasig to make a comeback. Especially with how poorly they've shot those 3-point shots. Foul called underneath. Ubalde will be called for that personal foul.
Number 27, Joseph Ubalde.
They are in penalty.
Shooting 2, Jacob Belisha.
Galicia at the line. Good on the first. Also, ito naman dating Imus player. Ito si Jacob Galicia. 2 for 2. 72-59. Galinato whips a pass to AC Soberano. Pasig still battling. Gamboa. Short stab is good.
Well, if you're Coach Aldrin Morante, at least you still appreciate the effort your boys have been showing. Oh, that just came a little too late para sa Pasig City. Only their third three-pointer tonight.
Chito Jaime with 17 points. 74-62. Soberano off that screen. Rolls out. Batak with another board. Pushing it. Asidre. Batak. Garcia puts it up. Wala pa din. Jerome Garcia is 0 of 5 from beyond the arc. San Juan. Ubalde at the post. Fadeaway jumper, no!
Ito talaga yung oras na binibigyan nila sila ng bola.
Batak, masyadong malakas. Galicia, wala pa din. Jacob, the adjustment on that shot, lead down to 10, but only 30 seconds left. And San Juan, again, just doing their job. Gamboa got fouled by Galicia.
Yeah, but only their second team foul, so no free throws yet para dito sa San Juan.
Second team foul.
You know, not that star-studded lineup we're so used to seeing, like teams like Nueva Ecija, Abra. But still impressive. 14-1. Soberano has found the stroke after a poor start to the season.
And their fifth straight win as well.
Yeah. Jaime almost putting in that shot from half court, but that's gonna do it for this game. A lot transpired, especially in the first half. Aldrich Ramos finally got his opportunity to play here in the MPBL, had 4 points. And the San Juan Knights able to get this one over Pasig City, who was coming in, have won 4 of their last 5 games. And our best player of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
Well, my kids absolutely terrorized the whole Pasig City defense from start to finish. He was doing it from different areas of the floor, whether it's in the half court or in transition, inside, outside, you name it. Mike has done it all in this game para sa San Juan.
And San Juan, another win under their belt. Victorious over Pasig City in this one, 77-64. And Pasig City, unfortunately, will drop down to 7-7. And Now, Dexter Marquez is ready at courtside kasama si Miss Sydney Crespo.
Thank you so much, Ken and Javi. Dexter, congratulations. Third straight Best Player Award. No? Very efficient and reliable as always. Kinuha saglit ng Pasig yung momentum ng second quarter, pero after ng halftime, na-limit yung outside shooting nila, hindi nila nakuha ulit itong momentum na to.
Kasi yung defense namin, mas pinaigpit namin. Sinabihan kami nung halftime, yung mga adjustments namin, kaya naka-adjust kami sa defense namin, kaya medyo lumayo ng konti.
And speaking of momentum mo, napakaganda. Sabi ko nga, third straight best player mo na, no? Pero next game, haharapin nyo ang Pangasinan. They have Muscleman, Vic Manuel, Lervin Flores, Mike Mabulak, ang daming veteran bigs.
Oo, sigurado magandang laban yun. So, matibay siguro yun. So, aabangan ng lahat yun. So, mag-prepare kami ng mabuti sa versus Pangasinan.
Well, I'm sure maraming mga kaliga ang mag-aabang yan. May mga babatiin ka, pasasalamatan?
Una-una, nagpapasalamat ako kay Lord sa panalong to. At nagpapasalamat ako sa asawa ko, lagi nakasupport. Mga anak ko, Sandra, Sayon, si AJ, mga biyanan ko, parents ko, kapatid ko, si Ate Joyce and Mark, nanonood, si Emer Sampang din. Lagi nakasupport tayong bayo ko. At thank you sa mga sponsors namin, lalo na si Senator Jingo Estrada, Boss Monching Italisayan, Boss James Go, Boss Dennis Abela, Go for Gold, Jeremy Go, 69 Foam Bar, Abela Industry, 1914 Athletics, JSU Amos of Pastor Perdi, and si Boss Jun, binabati ko na rin.
Thank you so much and congratulations once again sa suki na natin dito, Dexter Marquez, our best player of the game, brought to us by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Back to you guys.
Maraming salamat, Sid. And that should be a fun matchup ng San Juan at Pangasinan. Pero sa Sabado, magkita-kita po tayo on the second time this season sa Pola Oriental Mindoro. First game, Pangasinan Heatwaves will take on Bacolod Tubo Slashers. Second game, Imus Brotherhood kalaban ang Rizal. And in our main game, Mindoro Tamaraws will defend their home turf kalaban ang Muntinlupa Cagers. And that's gonna do it for coverage here from Pasig City. On behalf of Javi Palanya, Miss Sydney Crespo, and for our entire crew, ako po si Ken Pangalinan. Maraming salamat sa pagsubaybay sa Marliga Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino.